love to open new packages. There will be the latest information on the top funding opportunities for entrepreneurs who are seeking funding. Come along with me. I'm Coach Raquel, and it is this passion project for me. So I'm so happy to bring this to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. All right. Hello. Oh my goodness. We just completed another episode, baby. We just completed another episode 33 of the podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. And we unboxed these two of my books that I authored. Today, we unboxed, The Rebel Piglet, and we also unboxed Poetic Emotions. Really lovely books. It is my hope that you'll get these two books. Actually, they're not really an autobiography, but they're the closest thing to something like that. This book, The Rebel Piglet, is really based on my childhood experiences, how I perceived it anyway, and I think some of the things that happened. But I wrote it in story format, and then this one now, Poetic Emotions, is a book that I wrote when I didn't know what to do with my pain. I started writing, and it took me decades to complete this book, to complete some of the poems in this book. And it's really, it's a really interesting book. I have some of my poems are in patois. Some of them are, and it has different sections, but it's really, I have romantic poems. I have all kinds of poems in there, some that are emotional, you know what I mean? So, it is my hope that you'll enjoy them, and I invite you to get a copy and let me know how it goes. You know, read and share your feedback, your thoughts. Let me know how it goes. All right. So these are what we unboxed today, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me, and may God bless you. It is my hope that it's my prayer that your knowledge of God increases and that your relationship with God becomes even more intimate than it already is. Have a great day, and let's get into the show. Let's go.
Don't call me motherfucking trying to talk to me, find out some shit, talk about some gossip. Don't call me with no bad news. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't calling me to uplift me, if you ain't calling me to I'm not 911, I'm not in the mood. Don't call me unless there's some love on the other end of the phone. Matter of fact, I'm working. I don't want nobody to call me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody do them. And
unlock your potential every Thursday with our podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. Join Coach Raquel as she guides you through personal development journeys. Each episode focuses on actionable steps to enhance your personal journey. The podcast features 3 main segments to keep you engaged. We start with discussions on trending topics relevant to your growth. Then we unbox solutions to common challenges we face daily. Finally, stay updated with fresh funding opportunities each week. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and see you there.
Welcome to the show. It is such an honor for me to be here with you today. It is a blessing. I want to thank God for this platform, for this opportunity. Thank you for being here with me. We're going to have a ball, as I think we usually do. I am so happy to be here. So welcome to Refresh, Relax, Renew with me, yours truly, Coach Raquel. I am so happy to be here with you. It's a joy for me to be here. And today I have some interesting things that I want to talk about. I've just been learning, self-working and developing, growing and becoming. How are you? How have you been? How's your day going? Are you having a good time? Are you having a lot more positive moments than unfavorable ones? It is my hope that you actually are, right? Because that's what we want to try to do. It won't be perfect, or whatever our idea of perfection is, because to me, my life is perfect. Everything, all of it is exactly what it's meant to be, and it's exactly what I want it to be, because that's how God made it. And so for me, exactly where I am, how I'm feeling, what I'm going through is exactly where I need to be, and that's my perfection. My perfection is my being. Yes, because how it is how my God wants it to be. And whatever God desires and designs is perfect in my eyes, including everything I go through. And that does not mean that I'm going to go through it like a saint. Oh no, I'm going to go through it like the human that I am. Yes. So, welcome to the show, Refresh, Relax, Renew, episode 33, season 3. Yes, it is such a joy for me to be here. I've really been blessed and thankful and humbled. I think God has been humbling me. Oh my gosh. Me and my God go through so many things. We are like a parent. We're having like a parent child relationship. And sometimes I'm rebellious, sometimes I'm calm, sometimes he has to humble me, sometimes he has to direct me, sometimes he has to hold me, because that's what I'm needing. And oh my gosh, this month has just started off like with a bang for me, the best way it could possibly start off for me. I came into my area where I live, and we got to hang out for about maybe an hour or two or so. I don't remember, maybe about an hour and a half. And it was the most precious gift, because when I tell you I love these kids, I didn't give birth to them, but I don't think if I'd given birth to them, I could love them anymore. And they're so grown. I could possibly start off for me. Oh my gosh, one of my oldest sister's kids came into my area where I live, and we got to hang out for about maybe an hour or two or so. I don't remember, maybe about an hour and a half. And it was the most precious gift, because when I tell you I love these kids, I didn't give birth to them, but I don't think if I'd given birth to them, I could love them anymore. And they're so grown. I got so many hugs. I felt like that day I was just showered with love. And then I got to also meet my nephew's kids too. Well, I had already met one, but I got to see them again, and I got to meet one that I hadn't met before. But all of her kids were there, and my nephew's girlfriend was, his partner, because they have a kid or whatever. They were there, and it was so beautiful watching them together. It was so beautiful. You know what? I want to say this. I think I'm going to have faith for myself. I'm going to have a real relationship someday, one that I feel safe in. A friend of mine, he said to me, "You will have a healthy relationship with the man that you love." He said that he declared it to me. And I'm so happy he did, because it overrides my doubts that is even possible. I don't know why I feel like it's not possible. I don't know why. It's like this thing, like it's so precious. Like whenever something's like really, 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 really important to me, and if it's not in my hands, like if I don't have it in my grasp, it just feels impossible. It's just like when I was going to university. I thought it was impossible for me to get in, and I thought it was impossible for me to get out. And I did. I went, I got in, and I got out. And here I am. But whenever something means a lot to me, like it's really, like it's so important, like I really, really desire it, I think there's a part of me that in my brain where I said, okay, you see, because you need this so much and you have no control over getting it, you have to just tell yourself that you're not going to get it and let it go, because it's easier for me to let it go. Has that ever happened to you? Like you really, really desire something, but because you fear that you may not be able to get it, you start rejecting it so that you won't have to face that disappointment. It's something that I'm realizing that I do. And so for me, when he said that about a life partner for me, that is the thing. I hear that whenever doubt comes in. I go back to what he says. You will have a healthy relationship with the man that you love. Yeah. So I was just saying that I just loved when I saw my nephew and his partner. I just loved that. It was this it's like they had this beautiful friendship, like they've known each other for forever. And it I don't know, like I would love to get past the stage of, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous to be around him. I feel like I haven't really gotten past that in a relationship where you meet, you like each other, but then you got past it and know you are like, you know each other and you're in each other's lives and there is security and there is longevity and nobody's going anywhere. Does that make sense? And it becomes a part of your life. I've not had that experience yet. I've only had that honeymoon stage is what they call it, where I don't even know if I can call it a honeymoon stage, but that stage where, oh my God, you're so excited to see the person, you're so nervous around them, and when you're leaving them, you're so sad. But when I was sitting looking at him with his partner, I'm like, my gosh, that was so beautiful. Like they were so themselves. You know, it was just beautiful. They were so themselves. Like nobody was trying to impress anyone. They were just interacting like two family members. It was just so beautiful to see, you know? Anyway, that's what was happening, but I had the best time. I love you, Miguel, Sadiki, Jamie, Cheyenne. I love you so much, Shauna K, Shamar, Rochelle. Geez, why did I do this? Nikisha's children, Rajani. Oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? The oldest one. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name. Please forgive me. I know your name, I just can't remember it. And then Dale and your sisters, to all my nieces and nephews, whether or not I remembered or said your name, I love you. You're a part of me. You'll always be a part of me no matter what. And I just want to say to my nieces and nephews that came down, and Jamie, oh my God, I was so happy to see Jamie. Oh God, I love them so much. Like they're like in my soul, you know, like just in my soul. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I got to hang out with my grand nephew. It was so beautiful. He loves to walk. So we were just walking around and he and I were just, I mean, it was just the most beautiful experience, you know? I am so blessed. I am so blessed and I'm humbled by it and I'm thankful for it. Now, there's something I want to share with you, and then I'm going to share one of the poems from my book. There's a very special person in my life that I talked about in one of my episodes, I think like 2 episodes ago, when I talk about how I got to write this book. Prayers, right? Most of the prayers in this book, it was me praying for someone else. I believe the experience was God teaching me how to pray, and more importantly, I believe God was using the experience with this person to get me to know God. It's like God was pulling me close to him. He was using this experience to teach me who he is, to break me into knowing God. And so there was so much intimacy. At the time, it felt like pain. But now when I realize what has happened, it was intimacy God was having with me. And don't underestimate your pain, because I really, truly feel that discomfort, pain, and I'm talking soul pain, is where God is is intimacy God is establishing between us and him. That's why I say that the best problem to have is one money can fix. Because when you have a problem where money can fix, and I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but you have little choice but to go to God and become intimate and see how you can, through his help, overcome, or at least make it through, withstand what's happening. And this person, I won't say his name, but this person, from day one, when I met this person, he's always connected me to God. It took me a while to know, because I was so rebellious and rejecting of the whole thing. I didn't even want to meet him. Yeah. But it's somebody who always, and I'm telling you, I didn't really fully understand it until I met a man who I felt was giving me the entire world. And it was my fantasy, that's what I wanted. I wanted a man to give me the world. But I hadn't calculated in my mind, what does world mean? Yeah, somebody can give you this whole world. But then when I looked at it and I'm like, man, it really hit me December 2023. I'll never forget. It was December or November, either November or December 2023. I'll never forget. It really hit me. You could have the world right now. The whole world. Do you want it? And it took me a while to really realize that the world is not enough for me. I want God. I really, really do. And it took fear, because I didn't want what happened to me before to happen to me again. So it was really fear of that, why I started obeying God, but that's not what makes me obey God now. God took time, and he invested and he sacrificed people to make sure I would get to know him. And so now that I know God, I realize I'd rather just have God. If I don't want the world, I don't want anyone giving me the world. I want who connects me back to God. I want people who who support my relationship with God. People with whom, when I interacted with them in an authentic, natural way, I'm drawn to God. I'm telling you, until I really, truly experienced it, where you experience when someone just presents you with the world, it's like they're giving you the world. Here it is. And you realize you can't even pray with that person. I couldn't even pray. As a matter of fact, I remember being around that person and scared to share my God experiences. Wanted to, but so terrified. And I remember, just kind of having conversations to see, I remember just having conversations to see, all right, let's talk and see if there's somewhere I can put it in or see where it's going. And I'm telling you, based on where the conversation went, it was so world. I felt like an alien. Like if I were to bring up God, it would just be the worst thing. And then when I listened to how the person talk about their God relationship and stuff, like when I brought it up and it was just brushed off or whatever, I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to say anything about being God, because it was already difficult for me to say to people who have had God experiences. And I was already in shame. And this is just the truth. Even now, I still have some residue of shame when I talk about God. It's like an embarrassment. And I'm just being honest. I'm not saying it's supposed to be. I'm not saying it always is. It's just when I'm supposed to express it, I feel stupid. When I'm to talk about my God experiences, I feel like I'm not going to make sense. Like it's just stupid. Like, who's going to really truly understand? And are they lying when they say they understand? And it's like I have to find evidence to say, see, this is what I'm saying, before even I myself can accept what I'm saying. So it's like I have to feel safe in an environment where I'm safe to say, do you know God talks to me? Imagine saying that to someone who doesn't even believe in God. You know what I mean? Like, girl, are you crazy? And then I understand that some persons see people who speak of God as some kind of you're not cool. Um, no, honestly, like it's my experience, like you see persons who talk about experiencing God as some kind of cuckoo. I've never seen other people. When I was younger, there was this lady. Her name was Miss Donna. We call her Auntie Donna. And I remember we used to go to the same church. And she was my mother's neighbor. To be honest with you, that lady is the first person who made me know in a real way that God existed. And it's not because of what she told me. It was how she lived her life. And I remember Miss Donna had a lot of kids. She'd be getting pregnant and having kids, right? And I remember the way they used to talk about her, even at church and whatever. But she had the loudest praise. And I don't mean the loudest praise. It was guttural. It was soul praise. Like, I can't explain it, man. Like, I remember even when I was young, I was so confused. And I was so mad at the church because of how they spoke of her. It really bothered me, And but when she prayed, man, when she prayed, when she represented God, it's like she knew God for real, for real. It wasn't just a Bible thing. It was a for real thing. And when I tell you, it's like that woman had this. She had, regardless of how people talked about her and how they treated her, she never stopped showing up to praise God. I mean, I don't think I could have done it. Like, the shame for me, I feel like the shame would have made me stop. She never stopped. I don't remember if she ever went to church pregnant, because I cannot remember ever seeing her pregnant, but I remember her having kids. I cannot remember her ever being pregnant, seeing her pregnant. But I know she had kids, But it was just something about the way she praised God that even to today, it stays with me. And it made me want to know God. The way she represented God, the way she talked about God, the way she worshiped, the way she treated people, just the way she was always pleasant. I've never heard that woman complain. Come to think of it, she had kids in high school, baby kids. Like, she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 kids or more. She had at least 4 kids. And I don't remember her going to work anywhere. But I remember how she was looked at, and I think if I remember correctly, I think there were times she was sent to the back of the church. But people would always be talking about her. But she had a confidence in God that I've always wanted. And I think I'm close, but I don't think I'm there. It's like she knew God. It's like she had this intimate knowledge of God that nobody else had. Like she knew who God was. Maybe it was my young mind conceiving that, I don't know, but that was my experience. And that thing shaped my entire concept around God, that no matter where I was, no matter what I was doing, God was always my center. Even at the time when I rejected God, I was still a child of God. I've never not been. And for a long time, I thought if I'm not in church, then I'm not with God. And that's a lie. That's a lie. But I do have, 33 years, I do have a connection with church. I value church. I think churches should exist. And I want to live near a chapel that I can just walk into. These days, I've been feeling this feeling. It's almost like this faint feeling of me going into a church. I don't know what for. It's been this elusive image, but every time I try to figure out what it is, I can't see it. But it's like this feeling, like almost like this very vague picture, almost like I'm about to walk into a church or something like that. I don't know. Every time I try to every time it comes and I try to catch it, it just it's gone. It goes away. But I was saying that to say I want to share something with you, because this same person that I prayed for, that influenced, that God used to bring me closer to him, and every encounter, I'm always, when I tell you, every encounter, I'm drawn closer to God. It's a weird thing. Sometimes I feel like this person, that there's a my God, this is gonna sound so weird, but I feel like it's a like it's a trio, the word I'm trying to use, it like, it's like when, let's say you're having it's a threesome. I feel like, honest, like I'm laughing, but I'm so serious. I literally feel like when it comes to this person, it's me, him, and God all the time. It's me, like it's some kind of threesome, but it's somebody who's always connecting me with God. I remember the first time he did it, and it's funny because this is what happened to me yesterday. One of my angels read one of my prayers to me yesterday, my hiding place. And she was reminding me about when I had rejected, like she's like, I can't believe you wrote a book of prayers. Like, you were so, like, I had gotten to this place where I hated the concept of God. You couldn't say, as a matter of fact, my plan was to go to Thailand to study Buddhism. I wanted to learn Buddhism. I wanted nothing to do with the Christian faith. I didn't want anything to do with God, Jesus, none of that, right? I just wanted, I felt like God failed me. And it was more than failure. I felt like everything I believed my entire life about God, because I've always been someone who walked with God. I've always been that person. I've always lived my life a certain way. And I just felt like, why would you hurt me like that? Like, what did I do to deserve what you've been giving me? Like, what did I do to deserve it? And I felt like it was a lie. I felt like the whole God thing was a lie. And I decided, you know what? No more God thing. I'm over it. I'm going to, and I started referring to universe and whatever. And I was ready to, and I met this person. I didn't even want to meet this person. This was not somebody I wanted to meet. And when it was introduced to me, I rejected it. I just, not for any reason. I just didn't want to, but I remember this person said to me once, he said, I'd like you to draw the sky and some clouds. And then I want you to draw an image of God up there. And then on the ground, I want you to draw like the land. And there's a lot of people walking about and they're busy. And then I want you to draw you there. And I did it. And then he said, no, I want you to use a line to draw a line from God to you. And I remember he said to me, it doesn't matter what you do or where you go. God is always going to be with you. God will always be with you. And I don't know if God put this person in my life as some kind of spiritual guide or some kind of somebody that, whenever that keeps, but he just keeps me connected to God at all times. And so there's something I want to share with you. He took me through this process the other day, and the reason it was so important is because God said something to me, but I could not. I didn't fully understand the message, but I know it's like God was saying to me, I want you to embody something. I want you to embody it, but I didn't really fully understand it. Let me see if I can find it so I can read it, because I can't see there. I didn't fully understand it. And I ended up having a conversation with this person. And when I had the conversation with the person, this was an exercise he gave me to do. Like I said, this person is always giving me God exercises. He's always connecting me to God. Honestly, in the beginning, I just felt like, okay, you're a man of God. Well, this is it. I had that man saved in my phone as man of God because of that same thing, because of it. Okay, yeah, you're a man of God, so everything it is, you say God, everything's God. I didn't think it was anything significant until over the years, since 2019 to now, I've realized that this is not random. It's not random. It has changed my whole life. I can now say to you, I know who God is. I know who God is, and we have an intimate relationship. A very intimate relationship. God is always with me. God is always talking to me, always interacting with me. And I never have to do. But I want to share this with you, and then I'm going to go to share one of my poems with you today. You know what? I might share a prayer instead of a poem, but we'll see. But that image that you're seeing on the screen, he said to me, what is faith? Do you know what faith is? No, something. I'm paraphrasing. Just be clear on that. Because I'm, memory. He said to me, what's your definition of faith? And of course, I gave him the faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, the Bible version, right? I think that's a version a lot of us go for. And when I said that, he said, no, I want you to give me your definition. Like, break down that what you just said. For every single word that you just said, starting with is, give me the definition of is, the substance, all of that. So I started doing it. And of course, it was on the spot. So, I was like, searching for meanings. And I remember he said to me, all right, so you're going to go. I want you to go, and I want you to write this down. I tell you, he's always giving me these God exercises. Yeah. He said, I'd like you to write it down, and then you're going to define each word. And even if the meaning becomes a paragraph, it's okay. It's so funny. This is so similar to an exercise I actually do in my actual coaching. And he said, go ahead and did it. And that's what you're seeing. So when I went and I did it, it's funny. I did it in like less than 5 minutes. I sat there with myself. I didn't use a dictionary. I didn't use anything, because the instruction was how I would define it. So, is to be, a thing, substance, the essence, blah, blah, blah. You'll see it. It's on the screen, right? So I went down and I did the entire thing. And then when I wrote it, it said the first draft was faith to be a thing, essence, embodiment, related to object, existence, desired to belong, a thing, proof, testimony, confirmation, belonging to object's existence, negative, absent, to behold. That was just the raw thing that I wrote down. And then after I wrote that down, I sat with myself and said, okay, let me make this into a sentence that makes sense. And I wrote, to be an embodied existence of a desire, belonging to a thing, testimony to its existence without beholding it. And then I did not have faith in what I wrote. I didn't think my what I wrote was good enough, or was, I wanted it polished, so to speak. So I went to Chat GPT, and Chat GPT did this for me when I asked it to polish it for me. Chat GPT wrote, faith, to be the essence, the embodiment of existence hoped for, the proof, the testimony of realities unseen. And I remember I called him back, and I was now telling him the assignment, telling him what I did for the assignment. I didn't send it to him. I was reading it to him. So I remember I read it to him, and then he said, I read it to him. I read the Chat GPT one, and I told him all the versions I was giving him. And then he said, that's the one I like. You're the one that you wrote, that one. And our conversation went to wherever. And then when we finished talking, I was doing something completely different, went on, talked to somebody. I was just in my daily life, And then I remembered, oh my gosh, I was supposed to send him the thing I wrote. So I did, but I didn't send it to him. So I went on my computer to the screenshot, edited, posted it, and sent it to him on WhatsApp, right? After I sent it to him, I was reading it to make just what's there. I cropped it. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't cut off any of the text, that all of it was cropped properly. And that was when I actually read what I wrote. I read it and I went through it and I wrote it, but I hadn't really given any thought to it. I hadn't paid attention to it. I was just doing an assignment. Because to be honest with you, when I was doing this assignment, I didn't know where it was going to go. And when I read what I wrote, that was exactly the message God gave me earlier before I spoke to him, that I didn't register. God said to me, I want you to embody this thing. I want you to embody it. as though it is happening, as though you are it right now. I want you to embody it and know that this is what it is because I told you so, and nobody needs to confirm anything I tell you. That's what God told me. And when I read it, I was like, I got so emotional because I just didn't plan it. And this is how God talks to me. God will say something to me and I don't really understand it. And as I move throughout my day, things just start happening. I couldn't write these things. I couldn't make them up, but it happened, you know? So today I'm going to read that same prayer. I was going to read something from my book of prayers for you. Sorry, my book of poems for you, Poetic Emotions. But because of what happened yesterday, you know what? I am going to share one of the poems with you, but I'm going to read the prayer as well because one of my angels read the prayer to me and I could not believe I wrote those words. This book smells like a library book. I love it. I'm a library girl and I love library. I love being a member of the library and everything I've always been, you know. So this is the one I'm going to read for you. I hope you see it properly. Okay. So this one says, becoming. I decide. I decided. A whisper, a choice, a vow. Wow. And that is on page 46 of my book, Poetic Emotions. Now, let's go to the prayer. And the one I'm going to share with you is my hiding place. And you know, the voice in my head said to me, it's on page 47. Let's see for real. Okay, it's on page 49. Here we go. All right. And it's from the book Prayers. She read my poem to me. She said to me, it's almost as though you were in the future writing. Is that what she said? Something like, it's almost like you went to the future, wrote the prayer and come back and no, here we are. I'm telling you, it's crazy. When she was reading it to me and some things that happened in the day, it was just pure confirmation. When I tell you, it was just evidence of God the whole time. Anyway, so the prayer reads, my hiding place. Dear God, I would like to be a part of something great. I would like to be a part of a team who works for you. I want to empower people on your behalf. I want to carry out your will, Lord. I am not trying to just survive this world. I want to conquer it, Lord. Let me do something big, impactful, and wholesome. I am afraid of not being someone special to anyone. So, Lord, I pray today that my life will be spent in obedience, that your divine purpose for my life will be my greatest story. Thank you, God, for being my hiding place. Thank you for being my shepherd so that I never want. Thank you for being my shelter by sending your angels to encamp round about me. Thank you for all my days. Glory to God. Thank you for time, all of my years on earth. Make me a safe place for everyone in my life. I thank you, God, for everyone who supports me. I thank you, God, for everyone who treasures me. I thank you, God, for everyone who heals me. I thank you, God, for conquering my enemies. Thanks for being my source of growth. Thank you for mindfulness. Thank you for releasing your mercy in my life, Lord. These words I pray in your name. Amen. You know, God is a good God and God is faithful. God is a good God and God is faithful. And one of the things I really want my work to demonstrate is that we do not serve a mean, wicked God. You know, sometimes when I listen to persons and even my own experience, to be honest with you, for me, all my life has been me and God. Even the, like I, and that's why I'm saying, like, God and I have this parent-child relationship that you can't really pay too much attention to how I interact with God. You have to let me be, because I will say, I'm not talking to you anymore, God. I'm done. But God never leaves my heart or my soul, because it's been me and God the whole time. It's me and God. My relationship with God is the only relationship like I feel like I've ever had that has lasted. The intimate relationship I've had is my relationship with God. God has been my love, my everything. That's the person I've been in love with all of my life. You know, ever since I was a child, it was me and God. At nights when there was nobody there but me, cold and dark, it was me and God. I had this thing when I was younger. I used to say, it's me and Jesus on the telephone. You know? Yeah. So it's always been me and God. And I'm honest with God. And I remember more recently when I wanted to just go along with Raquel, go along with whatever the Christianity say, go by what the Bible says. And God said to me, that's not who you are, and that's not who I call you to be. We have a different kind of relationship. We have an intimate relationship. And God said to me, I need you to be honest with me. I don't want you to believe, just say you believe just because you want to get along, or you want to achieve, or you want to go along with someone, or you want to get somebody's favor. Don't do that. I want you to have a real relationship with me. When you're upset, you're upset. When you don't like me, you don't like me. When you like me, you like me. Yeah. And then God said to me, I want you to testify of your relationship with me. I want you to tell others about your relationship with me and how we interact. You're not forced. You don't have to be at the same place as with me as everybody else. And today I want to share that with you. Where you are with God is exactly where you should be, and nurture and nourish that. We don't have to believe in God the same time at the same place and worship in the same place at the same time. We don't have to do that. Life doesn't work that way. Even in our careers, we could all go to the same. When I went to university, when I graduated, my closest friend at the time, she got a job right out of college that gave her somewhere to live, everything. I never got a job until 6 months after. We're not having the same life experiences. So stop trying to mimic your relationship with God with what the world or everybody else is doing. You and your mother will not have the same relationship with God. We are individuals. You may not, for a period of your life, you may be an atheist. It's okay. It doesn't matter what you believe. God has never left you and will never leave you. Whether you believe, your belief and your service of God is not required for God to love you or be with you. God is with you no matter what. God is your breath, is your life. God is you, in you. God is you and God is in you. There's no disconnection. There's no such thing as you're disconnected from God. There's no disconnection. It's just that if you don't have an intentional relationship, you can't benefit. It's like, let's say I'm in love with you and I'm loving you, but you don't love me, you want nothing to do with me. It's not going to stop me from loving you. It doesn't mean you don't have my love. But you may not get reap the benefits of that love. You may not have me to do things for you, care for you. So why do you think the relationship with God would be any different? And I'm gonna pause this here because I'm gonna come back in allegedly to talk about something like this again. I have a topic I'm gonna talk about, a video I'm gonna react to. I just want to say, God, we don't serve a mean God, a wicked God. We don't. So don't allow your perceptions of the world to cloud your view of who God is. And know God for yourself. Go at your own pace. Don't lie. Because a lot of us claim to believe things that in our soul, in our hearts, we don't really believe or we don't really understand. But it's like we've compelled ourselves because of the conditioning of the world. Oh, I must believe this. Well, this is what it says, so this is what it says. Until you have your own life experiences, evidence these things, how can you truly say you know or you believe? Truly. And this is a funny thing with me, right? I have this relationship with God and I know I have it, but it's so hard for me to believe it. I don't know how to explain. God is so tremendously unbelievable to me. Like, all I have is evidence of God. I have no belief. I don't know how to, I know that doesn't make sense, but it's my truth. I cannot believe this whole experience I'm having. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. It's pure miracles. It's just unbelievable. That's the only way I can say it. Anyway, we're going to now go to, but I wanted to share that with you. And I just want to say to this person, thank you so much and God bless you. Thank you for returning me to God. Yesterday, God said to me, I want you to call him and I want you to thank him for restoring my relationship with God. And I'm so humble and thankful to him for that. I don't know if he did it intentionally. I don't even know if he was aware that he was doing it, but he literally restored me to God, my relationship with God. That was what God said, restored me to God. Like, because I was just like in a place where I wanted nothing to do with this God thing, nothing, even though God never left me. And I never really truly left God. It's like you love someone and you say, you know what, I'm done with you. I don't want anything to do with you, but you can't get rid of the love that's inside your soul. It's just there because you didn't put it there, so you can't remove it from there. So you learn to live with it there. So sometimes you might want to pretend like it's not there, just so you can live and survive and thrive and not always be heartbroken, not always feel broken. You know, for the first time I experienced, I don't know what to call it, but I felt like that thing that I usually feel when I'm dating someone and then I feel heartbroken. Listen, when real love happens, there's no such thing as a heartbreak, because from my experience, love is not in any heart. Love for me is in a place inside of me that I have no control over and no influence. I did not put the love there and I cannot remove it from there. And for me now, it's like my soul cries. It is no heartbreak. I don't feel any heartbreak. I have felt heartbreak before, but this time around, it's like my soul cries. Nothing is broken. It's just that my soul cries. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And I want to thank you. Thank you so much for being here with me. We are now just going to go over to, we're just going to have our ASMR moment. And then we carry on with the show because it's almost an hour already. What have I been doing? Oh, my Lord. I'm so humbled. I'm so grateful. Just hug yourself and breathe. Wow, wasn't that beautiful? That was so beautiful. That was such a beautiful experience. Such a beautiful experience. I hope you enjoyed it. And now we're going to go on to our first segment, which is unboxing solutions. Let's go.
Welcome to Unboxing Solutions, where we unwrap more than packages, we unwrap possibility. Every tool you see is chosen with care, purpose, and real-life use in mind. If what you create deserves to be opened, explored, and put to work, this is that space.
Thank you so much for staying with us so far. We are now in the segment unbox solutions with me. So welcome to another episode of Unbox Solutions with me. I'm Coach Raquel, of course. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for being here. And of course, this segment is where we unbox solutions, items that bring solutions to our daily lives. We're not just shopping just to shop. We're not just spending just to spend. Everything that we purchase is an investment. Okay, an investment in our joy, in our peace, in our lives, making sure that throughout our lives we can have a life that's peaceful, that is blessed, and that is rewarding for us, and that reflects the goodness of God, the grace of God, the mercy of God, the love of God, right? The existence or our lifestyle should reflect to the world the existence of our God, that they should see our God before we start talking about him, you know? Yeah, because the lived experience is the best testimony, I think anyway. So all of what we unbox these are solutions. And today, oh my gosh, is a proud moment for me, because today what we are unboxing is I'm unboxing my books that I wrote. Okay. So here we are. Let's get it going. Yes, so here we are. I'm unboxing this book, my book of prayer. Poetic Emotions. Poetic Emotions. That's what I'm unboxing today. Yeah, so we're unboxing Poetic Emotions today. And I'm also going to unbox. Ooh, look at that. That's my book. I love the feel of it. It's a matte finish. It's very smooth. I love it. And I love the smell. Oh, gosh. The smell. It smells like a library book. I love it. Look at that. And I have one more book I'm going to be unboxing that I also wrote, The Rebel Piglet, and I have it here with me. Wow. Proud moment. Such a proud moment. Look at God using me. Little old me. Oh, insignificant me. Wow. Can you believe it? I started writing this book in 2001. And I remember the first time I started writing this book, I was sitting on top of a tank. It's in a book. I was sitting on top of a tank and I wanted to jump off. But as I sat there, I thought to myself, enough water is not in here for me to drown right away, for me to, So it's like, I was like, but if I jump, imagine if I only got sick. And if life is so bad now, what would happen to me if I got sick? Like if I broke a leg or something, who's going to take care of me? And so instead of jumping, I went and I got a book and I started writing. And that was the birth of my writing. I always had this thing where sometimes I talk and it's rhyming all the time. Back then, especially. It still happens, but not as much as before. I would always be rhyming and I'm like, why am I talking in rhyme? So I would stop talking. Like, hold on, you see, God has been trying to talk through me the whole time, I just didn't understand, because sometimes I have in my thoughts what I want to say, but that's not what's coming out of my mouth. Like, what on earth? Yeah, so those are my books. Those what you just saw. These are actually copies of my books, right? So that one that you're seeing on the screen now, I'm going to open. All right, so I'm going to open this. This is another copy of my book. Yeah. And this book, The Rebel Piglet, you see it up there. This book is, ooh, all right. I bought multiple copies of the book, but they all came one at a time, even though it was in the same order. There we go. That's The Rebel Piglet. And The Rebel Piglet is a heartfelt coming-of-age story about courage, curiosity, and finding light in unlikely places. Perfect for middle grade readers who love stories of resilience, imagination, and the quiet power of hope. You know, I have such imagination sometimes that I have to always be finding evidence for whatever I'm saying, because I want to make sure I did not make it up. Oh my gosh, I think this is a really, really powerful book. And I think this book is a book that helps people understand me and how I operate, because this is about my childhood. And, you know, one of the reasons I'm so happy I wrote this book is because I feel like sometimes when I do something, persons see me when I do it. Even when I'm loving, like, I feel like persons see me, but especially the part where I'm doing work that really fulfills what people's expectations. They see me. But this book is here to let you know that it was impossible for me to get here to serve you. It was God. It is God. And really, when I show up and I do something, it is God. And that's why I have this book, because I want persons to understand that there is no way. My life is a complete miracle. There's no way I could have gotten myself here. And there's no way I could have given myself the heart I've got. And there's no way I could give myself the kindness I have. It's been God the whole time. And when I show up and I serve my clients, it's because God dragged me from a place to come serve you. If I come and you're part of my divine purpose, believe you me, God took me through something to get me here, to make sure brought me through obedience to get me here to support you. So I think it's important that we take time to understand that. Let's try not to criticize so much that we overlook what God brought people through to come and serve us. Because sometimes they were having the best life, you know, the exact life they wanted, but then God decided, no, I want you to come up here and do this instead. And I think we really have to get to a place where we appreciate when people show up for us, because love is not something you give yourself. Love is not something I could ever give myself. And care and desire to serve. I just would not have given myself. I'm one of the laziest persons you'll ever meet. I just would not give myself work to do. So when you learn how to spot divine purpose investors in your life, people who it's only God could have sent them to come and do that particular thing that they're doing. Things like loving you, supporting you, loyalty, things like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's what we're unboxing today. That's our unboxing for today. It is my hope that you'll grab a copy of one of my books, and that when you do, that you'll find it useful, not just useful, but inspiring, and that it becomes something that you want to keep in your library. I'm going to share a message from one of my partners. So let's go. Thank you so much for staying with me here on Unbox Solutions with me. Unbox Solutions with me. Let's go.
Strong organizations are built on more than strategy. They're built on people. At Human Impact Development Consulting, we help organizations strengthen leadership and support staff well-being. We put clear people systems in place that actually work. From HR advisory and policy development to leadership support, we cover it all. Our approach is practical, ethical, and people-centered. If ready for clarity, confidence, and sustainable impact, visit sandrinedunkley.com. Human Impact Development Consulting, where people systems meet performance. This is Free Money Wednesdays, where funding meets vision. Access becomes strategy, the fastest way to get attention. Apply for funding that lets them see your brand in motion.
If you're building something worth backing, visibility starts here.
All right. So welcome to Free Money Wednesdays. I am Coach Raquel again, and we're smack in the middle of Refresh, Relax, Renew, of course, episode 33. All right. But before I go into the grants and all of what I'm going to share with you today, there's someone I want to introduce to you. His name is Keith Merritt, and his program is called The Next Level with Keith. So I was on his show. I was a guest on his show, his last episode. And it was such a beautiful experience. I enjoyed all of it. And it is my pleasure, my honor, and with such pride that I introduce to you today, right here in the middle of Free Money Wednesdays, The Next Level with Keith. Keith is one of my clients, one of my members, one of my partners, but I don't know if I should say this part, but Keith is my divine big brother. That's what I would say. He's one of my angels that has been assigned to me. I don't know in your mind what you see a big brother as, but for me, a big brother is a trusted, safe place that does not require of me anything to go to him. Keith is the person who I can say anything about him behind his back and I'm never concerned. It's weird because he's the first person in my life I've ever had that kind of freedom with, where when I tell you, it's like, I know this person is like, this is my big brother that God gave me. And I asked for it. I had asked for it, but I didn't even realize when I got it. And the funny thing is, if not for Keith, he wouldn't be in my life. It's because I feel like, I don't know if he would say that, but I feel like he fought to stay in my life, to show me that, hey, I'm not going to abandon you or leave you. I'm gonna stay in the ring with you. I'm gonna be here with you as you do your self-work, as you go through your process. And he didn't give me distance, and he didn't give me weight, and he didn't give me, he just showed up, and he was just available, and he created a space in his life for me. And I just want to say thank you. So he's more than just a business partner or a client. He's very important to me because he was divinely placed in my life. And I'm learning now that a lot of people are divinely placed in my life. I just didn't know it. And I was rebelling against it all, you know. And he was able to, understand and navigate with me. You know, so I just want to say thank you to Keith. Keith is such a special person to me. And I just want to say thank you so much. Now, let me introduce you to his show.
To the Next Level with Keith, where clarity replaces confusion and simple systems lead to real freedom. Every episode begins with intention, music that centers your mind, lifts your spirit, and prepares you for transformation. This is your space for growth, your place to reset, your moment to rise, rethinking your thinking. Because when you shift your mind, you shift your money. Stack and grow, where small, intentional steps turn into lasting wins. Simple strategies, real progress. Your circle, your currency, because your network matters. Mobile money moves, business, income, and empowerment from the device in your pocket. This isn't just talk, it's guidance, it's strategy, it's movement. Welcome to the Next Level with Keith. Let's begin.
This episode spoke to you. It's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube at Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub and join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey: music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub. Press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.
Powerful stuff. Oh my gosh. So that is the next level with Keith. And I'd like you to check it out. It's every Monday. It's live every Monday at 9 p.m. Every Monday, 9 p.m. Keith goes live. Very powerful show, podcast, and program. Very powerful, not just the podcast, but the program around his podcast. As you heard, I'm not going to repeat it for you because you just heard it, but real powerful stuff. Now, it's time for us to go into our money moves, our money matters. All right, our money matters for this episode of Free Money Wednesdays. Now, the last episode I went through this with you. I went through and shared with you all the grants that are currently the 2026 funding opportunities for NGOs and entrepreneurs, your essential guide for January. And we have receipts included, deadlines verified, hope funded. Now it's for you to go there and to familiarize yourself with it, see what's available and what grants are still open. So for example, as you can see, you have some that have already expired. The deadlines have already passed, but we have one for February 6, February 14. Yes, let's go down the line. Then we have a rolling one for January 31. And we'll give you tips and all of that. And all the links are there. And see, we have another one for January 28, February 19, September 30. Still open. And then we have one for January 21, February 9. So there are grants there currently that you can go ahead and apply for. They're there. You can go ahead and you can apply for them now. So I'm not going to go back through it because I went through every single one of them in the last episode where I talked about all of it, and I shared the information with you. So you can go back to the last episode of Free Money Wednesdays and get all the details, or just go to the website, the free money blog on my website, mycoachministry.com. I want to share something with you today. We need to be mindful of what attracts our attention. What gets our attention? Are we paying attention to the things that are empowering? Because often it happens to me too. The things that get our attention sometimes are not necessarily the positive things, are not always the things that are important for us. Sometimes the appetite, it's like your diet, right? When your appetite is for sweets and nice, quote unquote, nice things. You know what I had to do when it came to food? I had a very bad relationship with food, a very poor relationship with food. And I had to say to myself, you know what? I have to change what tastes good to me. I decide if it tastes good, and I'm going to change what tastes good. And I made a decision with myself, and I said, you know what? Vegetables taste good. Healthy foods start tasting good as of today. And that's how I started my food blog. I have a food blog and a food vlog, a recipe website, tastyfoodadventures.com. And on YouTube, you can find me at Kelly's ASMR. I had to change how I do food. And so I started filming it, recording myself eating and eating different. And when I started, I'm like, hang on here, but vegetables are good. It's just how it was being presented to me as this little thing on the side. When the vegetable can be, for example, cucumber to me replaces a lot of, I don't want to say carbs because this is not about dieting. It's about just enjoying food and food that's good for you. How I eat now, I eat things that make me feel good when I'm done eating. I have not had indigestion in a long time. I don't remember the last time I had something like that. What is that again? I have not had this thing that called niggeritis or ethnic discomfort or whatever. I don't even know what that is. But that feeling you feel like as soon as you finish eating, you want to go to sleep. I have not had that in years. Years. Now, when I eat, I want to move. I want to get up. I just feel good. And it's not about dieting. It's about learning yourself, learning your body. For example, I know when I eat flour, it gives me mucus. I know that now. I didn't know that before. It's about learning who you are and what and how to feed yourself that which is kind to you, whether it is through your eye gate, ear gate, mouth gate, whatever. Right? You determine your taste. And I think we need to. I had to do this for my brain and my mind. I have to manage my mind. Right? I have to feed it positive things, just like I have to feed myself foods that make me feel good about myself, you know? Yeah. So we need to shift what entertains us. We have the power to do that. Okay, so today's topic on what I want to share with you is 10 ways to cultivate a grant funding mindset and culture. And I'm sharing, oh, that's 9 of them? Why do I feel it's only 9 of them on the screen? Uh-oh. It's okay. I'm sharing some of it. Couldn't hold, so yeah. Anyway, so 10 ways to cultivate a grant funding mindset and culture. This is for entrepreneurs, faith-based leaders, and mission-driven builders. It's for these people because these are the people I serve in my divine purpose, in my business. Grant funding is not about chasing money. It is about stewarding vision. A healthy grant mindset reframes funding as alignment between purpose, preparation, and provision. When faith and strategy work together, fundraising becomes less intimidating and more intentional. This script that I'm sharing with you is designed to help entrepreneurs and leaders cultivate a sustainable, confident, and ethical funding culture within their organization or personal venture. So number 1, very important, reframe fundraising as stewardship. Don't just see it as making money. And remember, fundraising is everything you do to generate income. Whether it's a job that you go to get hired as an employee so you can earn, reframe your job as stewardship. The service you're providing, you're stewarding over a divine purpose that God gave you. Go with intention. I like to call it mindfulness in ministry, because ministry is what we all do. It's not just churches that have a ministry. Everything you do based on your divine purpose is your ministry in this world to God. My ministry is coaching. I run a coach ministry. You're an accountant, you have an accounting ministry. You're HR ministry. Human development ministry. Yes? All right. So you got to reframe money making or income generating as stewardship. It's the reward you're getting for your stewardship and your obedience. Funding is not begging. It is resourcing what you are called to build. Funding is not begging. It is resourcing what you are called to build. A stewardship mindset recognizes that grants exist to fuel impact, not ego. When your mission serves people, funding becomes a responsibility, not a favor. The key shift from asking for money to accountability for impact. Reflection prompt. What mission or responsibility requires proper funding in this season? Number 2, build confidence through self-efficacy. Self-efficacy. Confidence in funding grows through action, not perfection. Believing that you can complete the grant process, even imperfectly, keeps momentum alive. Each submission strengthens capacity. Practice. Keep a simple wins log. Grants researched, applications submitted, feedback received. Progress builds belief. Replace hopeful intentions with clear plans. Desire alone does not create funding, structure does. It's funny, right? Because we shared something with a client, and I remember the client replied and was asking, well, how do we measure this? How is a fundraising fundraising that we're proposing? And they're asking, so how are you going to measure this? How are you going to do that? Let me tell you. You see, we can sell you anything we want to sell you. I can give you numbers if you want numbers. But you see, that's not how it works. It is systems and structures you need to put in place. And when those systems are in place, it has to work. If you're doing your work, that is. If you know you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you've built the correct system, and you followed your obedience, and you make sure there's a structure that's set up around your business, and you do what you're called to do, and you're stewarding it as you're supposed to, the only way you're failing is if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And sadly, a lot of persons, even myself, sometimes we get lazy and we get distracted. And sometimes God gives us money for the business and we go use it to do something else. We go use it because it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, when it was supposed to be used to steward what God gave you to do, so that it can then reproduce and give you abundance to do the other things you want to do. Anyway, desire alone does not create funding. Structure does. Implementation, intentions help translate faith into follow through. For example, if it is Wednesday evening, then I work on my grant pipeline for 30 minutes. Consistency beats intensity. Number 4, treat grants like a pipeline, not a gamble. A funding culture thrives on systems. Track opportunities the same way you track clients or projects. Suggested stages: identified, eligible, in progress, submitted, follow up. What gets tracked gets funded. Number 5, lead with outcomes, not emotion. Funders invest in clarity. It's like me. I am most effective when I have clarity. And this is something that even in marriages, I think sometimes leaders don't understand. You have to give us clarity. As your wives, you have to give your wives clarity. If you really truly want her to support for you and show up for you, she has to have clarity in your goals, where you're heading. Anyway, I'm derailing. It's a conversation that came back to my head. A conversation I was having someone came back to my head. Funders invest in clarity. Using a logic model helps connect your activities to real world outcomes. Core elements: inputs, activities, outputs, short-term outcomes, long-term impact. Faith inspires work. Structure explains it. I like that. Number 6, normalize measurement and evaluation. Measurement is not punishment, it is proof. Just as she was saying, what are the measurable outcomes, all right? A strong funding culture tracks impact in simple, repeatable ways. Start small. Choose 3 metrics you can track monthly. Progress documented is progress multiplied. So when you're going to do something with someone, or for example, you're going to invest, it's not for them to necessarily tell you the measurables. It's you that should, when you have that proposal in your hand, you should sit and look at it and say, okay, how do I measure this? What do I align this thing to? Right? They're going to give you what they measure, what they do by, but you need to make sure that in your business, you have a system that is tracking what you're doing. And it's not just the this here or that. There's everything together. It's the system, the structure in place. Number 7, redefine rejection as information. It certainly is. And protection. Not every grant is alignment. Rejection does not mean failure. It provides feedback. After every no, ask, was the eligibility a match? Were outcomes clear? Was the timing right? Learning shortens the path to yes. Number 8, build resilience into the process. Grant writing requires emotional endurance. Avoid burnout by working in focused, time-bound sprints. Healthy rule: no grant session longer than 90 minutes without a break. Sustainable energy sustains results. And number 9, anchor funding in ethics and equity. Funding should never compromise dignity. Ethical fundraising centers partnership, transparency, and respect for the communities served. Language matters. Avoid deficit-based storytelling. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes when I'm speaking to persons, especially people leading the charge for God, people who steward over kingdom work, the deficit-based storytelling. I can't. I don't have. Oh, I'm so broke. Then God did not call you to do this then. Drop it. Drop it. It's better to stop saying God sent you to do something than to say he sent you to do something, but he did not resource you for it. The lies we tell. And sometimes we're not even aware of the story we're telling. The trauma-led, trauma-filled stories, the deficit-based. Come on. We have to do better than that. Our lifestyle, our business practices must reflect the grace and the goodness of God. It has to. So we need to avoid the deficit-based storytelling, the lamentations. Emphasize collaboration and capacity. Say how you can be helped. Instead of talking about what you don't have, talk about what you have and what you're willing to do. Integrity attracts alignment. And the final one, number 10, integrate faith with preparation. Faith does not replace systems. It strengthens them. A healthy rhythm includes prayer for wisdom, planning for action, preparation of documents. Faith fuels courage. Preparation builds credibility. Yes? Now, here's our closing reflection. This is what I want you to think about this, yes? Funding flows where clarity, consistency, and courage meet. Ooh, leadership. That's leadership. Funding flows where clarity. The vision? Does your team have your vision? Do they know the vision? Have you put the vision out there so it can be made clear so people can understand, okay, this is what I'm helping these persons to achieve? Do you have the kind of alignment with the people, your partners and teams, where they can understand where you're heading and see how they align with where you're going? Those things are important. You're not failing because the work isn't necessarily good enough. You're failing. Sometimes we fail because of that alignment. And some of us are just on faith and faith alone. You have to it's a combination of things. My head will not operate without my arms and my legs and my body. All of this come together to make me, to make me, and to make me efficient, and to make me workable, and to make me able and capable you know? So here's a mantra. We do not, this is my mantra is no struggle love, no struggle money. No struggle love, no struggle money. And by that I mean alignment only. What flows. And I'm not talking about, when I say struggle, I'm not talking about the fight for something you believe in or something that God confirmed or having patience. That's what I mean. I mean struggle when you're being depleted by it. You're not being strengthened. Oh my gosh, I just had an aha moment. It's not depleting you, it's building you. There's a difference. So we do not chase money. We do not chase money. We steward mission with structure, integrity, and faith. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share with you today for our Free Money Wednesday. Let us start cultivating a mindset, a culture of positive effort and alignment on this mission called kingdom building, kingdom service. When we serve God, God is not a mean God. And God would not allow you to become a steward over something that is meant to deplete you. God would not do that. So we have to be careful of the deficit, the deficit, what was it called? Excuse me, the deficit mindset. You know what I mean? That we have. And I like what it said, so I want to go back for it. The deficit mindset. We're in too much of a deficit mindset, man. We're more abundant than this. Come on now. And I think sometimes we do it because we don't want to have to pay for something, or we don't want to invest, but you have to. That's why God gave you the money. That's why he gives you the energy. That's why he gives you the ideas. That's why God gave you the ideas. Where is it? I can't even find it. Well, you heard it. I said it. You know, this deficit mindset has to go. It has to go. And you know, one of the things that God, I've learned in my entrepreneurial journey is that, but it is a deficit mindset, deficit-based storytelling. That's what it was. Deficit-based storytelling. You know what I learned in being an entrepreneur? It pays me to pay. It pays me to pay. Because whoever pays, that's who gets the reward. And let me tell you something, why a lot of us are in ministry and we are in a deficit. It's because someone else is paying. It's not you that's paying. It's your donors that's paying, so the blessing goes back to the donor. Yeah? It's the tithers that are paying, so the blessing goes back to the tither. If you want the blessing to come back to you, if you want the return on investment to come back to you, then you're the one who has to do the investment. I'm not saying you're the only one. But a lot of times, we're in this place of a deficit because we are unwilling to pay even when God makes provision. We want someone else to take on that bill, not understanding that whoever covers the bill covers also attracts the return on investment. That's where the return on investment goes back to. Anyway, that's all I'm going to share for today. It is my hope that something I shared here was helpful for you, was beneficial, was inspiring, but mostly empowering to you. I want you to be empowered. And I want, when you go out there, that people see that we serve a God that empowers us. All right. So this has been Free Money Wednesdays for this episode. I'm Coach Raquel, and thank you so much for staying with me. Now let's go to our next segment.
And now, allegedly, where we slow the story down. This is about insight versus impact, learning from what we observe. Instead of paying the price ourselves, Their experiences become our education. So growth doesn't have to come with damage.
I love the music though. God bless musicians, okay? They are special people and God bless them. Okay. Welcome. Thank you so much for staying with me. Let me say that first thing. Thank you for staying with us so far. Thank you for sticking with the show. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, welcome to Allegedly, episode 31, I believe. Yes. Or is it 32? One of them. I think it's episode 32. We're at episode 32. Refresh, Relax, Renew is at episode 33. And I think for Allegedly, we're at episode 32. Thank you so much for joining me for this. Now, Allegedly is very important to me. It's where we transform gossip into growth. Yes, from gossip to growth, or we use other people's stories as case studies for our own empowerment, to influence and inspire our own self-work so that we can have breakthroughs. All right, so that's what we do. And over here, what I seek to do is to speak my truth, where truth meets opinion and headlines meet hard questions, right? And it doesn't mean that I'm sitting asking all kind of questions. It just means that I process the stories. I see where the lessons are. I take it from a positive voice because I'm very careful with people's stories. You see, when it comes to people's stories, I'm extremely cautious with it. I don't play games with people's stories because, you see, I've learned pain is a tool God uses to draw people close to him. So I do not play games with people's pain, right? So now we're going to be going to the copyright disclaimer for today so we can get into the stories. I have some clips that I'm going to be reacting to. Now, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, baby? Okay, so now we are going to go to our clips, and then we take it from there.
That you used to value that you don't value anymore.
Being understood. People can really only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves.
Wow. Did you hear that? Let's finish this clip and then go.
Which means that some people simply won't have the ability to understand you, and that's okay. You don't need to fight to be heard, to be seen, to be approved of. Sometimes it's just okay to say, we don't agree. I don't think you understand. And let it be.
Oh, I'm getting emotional. Oh my gosh. Wow, I'm getting emotional. Didn't really expect. I didn't think I'd be emotional about it, but wow. Initially when I was going to stop it and say something and I didn't. I was going to say, well, the truth is, being understood is important to me, but being understood by who? It's the who that makes a world of difference for me. I'd like to be understood by those people I'm sent to serve and by those persons I love and by those persons who I'm interacting with on a regular basis. I'd love to be understood. But I also understand what she's saying. Do not hinge being understood. Do not hinge your joy, your peace, your contentment on being understood. Do not hinge your peace, your joy, your contentment on being agreed with, being confirmed, approved, acknowledged. Man, I'm telling you, it's like after I grew up, I had to go and recondition myself because the way I feel like I was conditioned in this world, I was cultivated to be a dependent, to be depending on. And I feel like for my whole life, I've had to go the other way. And while I was going against the current, I thought, oh my God, why is this so hard? Why am I alone? Why am I not married? Why doesn't anybody love me? Why does na. And I'm realizing that my baby girl, your life is going exactly as God meant it to be. The reason I felt that way, and still sometimes it pops in, is not so much because I'm unhappy. It's not because I'm unhappy. It's not because I lack something. It's because of the conditioning, the culture, the mindset, the way I thought the world works or should work, and why isn't it working that way for me? The way I see it work for other people, and I'm thinking, so why can't it work that way for me? Because I am me. Because you are you. You're different. You are not. You are individual. You are. There's no other version of you out there. We were never made or designed to fit in. We were never created to fit into anything. We were always created and designed to stand out. Yeah. And I know that will not remove all the desires I have, because I'm going to have those desires. There's certain desires you're just going to have. For example, for me, I desire companionship and having someone. I still have the feeling of being chosen by somebody, being special to somebody, because I see it out in the world and I love how it looks. And it is my hope that what God has for me includes that. But if it doesn't, I'm still okay. I'm fully blessed. God takes care of me and I lack nothing. But I'm saying that to say, don't feel poorly. Don't lie to yourself and say, oh, all right, I don't care if I'm being understood. No, walk your truth. Speak your truth, own your truth. And as you do that, keep working on yourself. Because that's what has happened to me. I talk about like being with somebody or whatever, but I'm not hampered. I'm not hampered, or I'm not hindered by not having it. And if I never had it, I'd still be okay. And I'm still going to be happy every single day of my life. Every day of my life, I'll be happy, because my life is full. My life is absolutely full. I'm not missing any halves of me. And everyone that I love, I'm so blessed. Everyone I love, they're in my life. I can reach out to them. They're in my life. I'm so humbled and I'm so grateful, you know? And sometimes what trips us up is possession. Anyway, when she said, I'm telling you, I just got so emotional, you know? And that's because it means something. And I connected with what she was saying, you know? But it is my hope that you will not allow other people's understanding of you to impact how you live your life or how you see yourself. And when you do have those persons who take the time to understand, bless them, thank them, appreciate and value them. You know, someone said to me, I will always listen to you. I don't know that I know fully what that means, but it was very special and I like it. And I remember someone else said to me, I'll always be gentle with you. You see, for me, that's currency. That means more to me than money. You see, when someone prays for me, that's more currency to me. That's currency to me. When people wish me well and are kind, that's currency to me. So let's not take it for granted. And let's be conscious or mindful of how much we invest in those who don't understand, as opposed to recognizing and acknowledge those who do understand. But do not allow your joy, your peace, your contentment to hinge on someone understanding. Sometimes they just don't have the capacity. Sometimes they just don't have the capacity. It's not willingness sometimes. Sometimes they don't have the willingness too, but sometimes they don't have capacity. They're just not able to understand. And some things you just have to know, okay, nobody's going to understand, or you find those who do understand. All right, let's keep going. Oh my gosh, it's so loud. Let me turn it on. Yeah, this one right here. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you something. Whoa, listen to me. Like, why am I sharing this? I'm not sharing this clip so much because of laughter. It's not laughter why I'm sharing it. It is funny. It is very funny. But that's not why I'm sharing it. Look at that. Look at that. Who are we following? Who are we following? And the reason I'm sharing this clip is because, I was having a conversation yesterday with one of my angels. Well, actually, two of my angels. And after I left that conversation, I'm like, who, and when I thought of this clip, I wanted to include this clip this morning because of that conversation yesterday. Because you see, when it comes to God, who is framing our reference? Who is framing our reference? Who is giving us the breakdown? Who is guiding our understanding of God? I said it earlier that God had to teach me that I don't want you to go along to get along when it comes to me. I need you to go at your true pace because I need you to really get to know me. And when you get there, then testify of it. I don't know if I can effectively say this, but let me try to explain it. Growing up in the church and growing up as a person who I've been a Christian all my life, done the baptism, everything, cannot take it out of my soul because I'm so cultured in it that even if I tried to run away, I couldn't go too far. And I know that that's not by mistake because God was intentional about where I was born, who I was born to, what I was affiliated with. Church I grew up in, those 33 years were not by accident. So I know it's not a bad thing. I know this is how God wanted me to live my life. God wanted me to be a part of the Christian faith. I get all of that. But the thing is that was a challenge for me was I felt pressured. I felt like in this environment of Christianity, the leaders of Christianity, it's as though they want, some of them, not all of them, like some of them, it's like they want you to be where they're at the same time they're there. And even if they did not project it, I perceived it. And so for a long time, I struggled because I'm like, I just can't speak in tongues. And I remember when I was younger, I think I was 16, and they're like, it's time for you to speak in tongues now. Like, I didn't know this is something there's a time for. I think there's some things that when it happens, it just happens. It's supposed to just flow, and it's supposed to be on God's timing. When you grow, you just grow. You can't, even as a child growing up your height, I didn't get to 5 feet before I was 2 feet. I had to go to 2 feet first. I had to let my body just grow. It's the same thing with my relationship with God. And I'm sharing this clip to show a lot of us are in flocks. Kingdom flocks, religious flocks, Christianity flocks. We're in these things, in these movements, in these flocks, these movement flocks. And we're just following. And we realize that it's off, something is off. I'm drowning here. And instead of realizing that we're going the wrong direction, we start making it seem as if it's God that's failing us. Because we're hanging on for dear life to these belief systems that sometimes we have not yet had a lived experience to validate ourselves. But we're hanging on to it for dear life. I was at that place. I had to train myself to challenge God. In the beginning, when I tried to challenge God, I was dead scared. Oh my God, I was so afraid of, I can't talk about the Jesus name like that. I can't say God's name in vain. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You've got to explore. And when you're exploring, you can't be walking. You can't decide, okay, I'm going to explore the jungle, but I don't want, you're going into the ocean, but you don't want your hair to get wet. What are you talking about? How are you going to immerse yourself without some dirt, some mess happening? It took me a long time and a lot of God prodding and pushing me to get to a place where I said, God, don't talk to me. I don't like you. Why can't I say that if it's my God? If God sent his son to die for me, what else must he declare or demonstrate for me to understand that his love for me is unconditional? Unconditional is not even the word. There's no English word to define it, to explain it. There is no God leaving me. You cannot tell me God is going to leave me. There's nothing I can do to disconnect from God, who has, it must be death when he removes the oxygen. And then I'm just waste matter. Ever since, and again, that man, God bless him, because God used him to let me know I have a soul. I remember before when I used to date, they used to say to me, you don't have any feelings, you don't have any feelings. And I'm like, but that's all I've got is feelings. But I finally understood what they meant. I did not know that there was a light inside my chest. There's a place inside of me that I have no influence over. And that's what I feel when I'm with like my nieces and nephews and those people that I adore. That is here. It's not up here. And thank God to my experience with that person. I have that with God. That was the experience God used to introduce himself to me. I would rather blaspheme than find myself in the place of this chicken. Let me change that. I would rather blaspheme in my efforts to learn God and connect with God for myself than to find myself in a place like this chicken when it comes to God. I cannot risk it. God is too important to me. I've got to go through knowing him. And if I have to disrespect God for him to throw me down, for me to say, oh, he hears me, then that's the route I'm going to take. And I'm not trying to tell you to do that, I'm saying by any means necessary, you must learn God for yourself. You must know God for yourself. So when you're following, you see, a great leader does not want blind followers, because a great leader knows he needs accountability to achieve the goal, to reach where he's trying to get to. He needs people who are going to speak truth to him. Or, yeah, a great leader knows that. So you playing small doesn't serve your leader. You going along to get along does not serve your leader. You pretending, yeah, you going out of place, you lying does not help your leader. And I cannot talk about your relationship with God, but my relationship with God, God tells me to be true. God tells me straight up, don't you ever come in front of me with no pretense. Come to me as you, the woman I designed and created you to be. God knows I'm rebellious a little bit. So sometimes I'm like, it takes me a while to obey. But he loves me. And so he gives me patience, because he knows that he's asking me to do something. So he might need to give me 5 minutes to get adjusted. God knows that I'm lazy. So he has to help me connect with his divine purpose, to give me purpose to move, because just telling me to move or giving me work to do is not going to work. What works for you with God? Find it. And this is something I can promise you. You're not going to lose the flock you're trying to follow. You may disconnect for a while, but once you find yourself, you'll get back on track, because I understand too that I like these people, even sometimes when I don't belong there. There are ways they can fit. Maybe they were temporary in your life or whatever, but are you following temporary people? Are you following people you were meant to lead? Were you supposed to follow them to a certain extent, as with the chicken? Follow them to the edge of the water, get some water to drink, but don't go in the water with them. I just think this was just a powerful lesson when it comes to the kingdom of God, because there's this formation that we think everybody should be in, where we should all be at the same time with God, at the same time understand him, at the same time get the same belief at the same time. It doesn't work that way if we're walking in truth. It doesn't work that way. I have to take my time to get to know God, to get to learn God, to understand how God talks to me. And then I have to try to relate that to you. And you can choose if you have the willingness to connect with me through understanding or not. Remember what we talked about before? Nobody's obligated to understand you. So do not allow their understanding to hinge. Sorry, do not allow your life's work or your wellness or your peace to hinge right on their understanding. Don't allow that. Right? But that's why I had to share this, because a lot of us are out here following Bible, following people, but we don't even know who we are. How are you going to follow Bible before you know who you are? How are you going to know the interpretations that you're supposed to cleave to? How do you know? Remember, the Bible is there for everybody. It's written in a generic way for everybody. No, we have to personalize it to ourselves. We have to learn it for ourselves. We have to understand what role it plays on our path. It's just like a business system that's there to support us. You can't just come into the system and then want everybody else to tell you what to do. No, you have to figure out, how does this work in my life? How do I, when I buy a knife, what do I want to eat? Have you ever been to somebody's house, right? Or online, you're seeing how people cook certain things. Like the other day, I saw they boil the coconut. I've never had boiled jelly. I've never had the concept to boil it. But they apply it in their culture, in their way. We all have our ways of life. We all have our culture, but we also have our individual selves. Let's not get lost in it, so that we can, when we really do it, there is meaning, there's purpose, there is wisdom, and there is truth, you know? Let's go to the next clip. Hang on here. Oh, this was a clip I had to play as well. Listen to this. And I've heard these things before. I've had these thoughts before. I've even had these thoughts about myself. But I'm had.
Me hear, you know, me hear woman talk sometimes to me hear say, what am I do with she? She not even look good. She don't even look good. What am I do with that girl? She don't even look good. What am I do with that girl? She don't even shape good. What am I that girl not at? What am I do with that girl? You know what am I do with that girl? She's a good person. She's nice. She's kind. She's caring. She soothes his soul. She feeds his mind. She's his comfort. She's his peace.
There we go.
She motivate the man. She make them. And when we talk about motivate, I mean like say she a give him something. Her presence, her aura, her essence makes him want to be the best version of himself.
Wow. That is
for
powerful.
her. That's why I'm there with she.
Wow.
Your body bigger, your belly flatter, your skin smoother. you wear better hair, you dress better than her, everything, but she's still better than you. Yes, her belly big, but she's still better than blood clot you. Her titty long, she's still a better woman than you. Her body flat, yes, she's still better than you. She shaped like blood clot, improper fraction. She's still blood clot better than you. She have waist alopecia, it will her head side peel out. She's still blood clot better than you. She's still better than you and your good blood clot shape. She's still better than you. Because she's a good person. And not we do no blood clot. You don't feel like say looks is everything.
All right. I didn't listen that far, but I'm okay with it. See, let me tell you something. This does not offend me, him using the expletives or whatever, because truth is what I'm about. If that's how you truly feel, let it be. Anyway, you know, for a very, very long time, and my angels would know this. For a very, very long time, I'll say up to, I think it was, we're in 2026. 2024, I think it's probably late 2024, was the first time I remember when I spoke with my friends and I said, I know 80% at the place of believing or thinking I'm lovable. Because of how I grew up, that's why I called myself the Rebel Piglet, right? I made a decision with myself that nobody's gonna love you. Nobody can love you. You're just not lovable. You're not a bad person. I just thought there was a certain type of people that's lovable. And to be honest, it wasn't necessarily a look for me. It wasn't necessarily a look. I just thought it was people who have great families, people who are easy to love. And I've never felt easy to love. You know, because I felt like I always felt like to be loved, I had to trade who I was. And I didn't know how to be anybody else. I didn't have any other examples. So I felt like I was fighting to be me. Even when I was in relationships, it's like I was fighting to be me. I'm fighting to be me. And I have to say, you know what? I just have to just not be chosen, because I can't trade me, because I wouldn't know who else to be. So I just felt it was a certain type of person. And they like to tell you, you must be soft spoken, you must be this, you must be that, you must sit this way, you must praise that way, you must. And I'm just like, God, if I can't be loved as me, then oh well. I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too this, I'm too. God. So for a long time, I never felt lovable. And I've had to look. I remember at one point in time I started looking and saying, see, that person have a person, that person have a person. And that's why for me, I think the reason for me looks is not it for me, is because I think it's because I grew up in Jamaica. And let me tell you something with Jamaican men, at least the men I've experienced in Jamaica. They build your self-esteem. I've experienced a Jamaican who migrated. We were in an argument and he said things to me. He had said multiple things to me that made me feel like my body wasn't good enough. Like I was, anyway, you know. But I'm speaking about the Jamaican men in general, just in general. It just walk down the road and a Jamaican man is going to make you feel like you're a queen. I'm telling you, if you have self-esteem issues, just you don't have to dress properly, you don't have to do anything, just walk down the road. And I promise you, there are going to be men that they will make you feel like you're the most beautiful thing this world have ever seen. It's a Jamaican man thing. That's how they are. I'm not used to a Jamaican man who is not loving towards women and kind towards women. I don't have that experience. I believe that sometimes when people are in relationships, different things happen because interacting with each other. But generally speaking, Jamaican men are great men, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I kind of feel like they're cheaters. Well, anyway, I'm going to move on. You see, when I'm sitting listening to him, this applies in personal life, this applies in business life, this applies. Why are they doing business with that person and not you? Why is the man marrying that person and not you? You know what I've grown to realize after I really truly realized I loved somebody? When I actually started, when God placed love in my heart for someone, possession of the person became irrelevant. I mean, the desires are there. And it requires great strength and self-control and mind management. But you know what's most important to me for the people that I love? For them to be happy and thriving and content. I would not want to be in that man's life if I'm going to be his source of pain. I want him to be with who he chooses, who he wants to be with, even if it shatters me. Because people should have the right to choose what they desire. Whether God influences that desire or not, that's up to them. Me personally, I want what God has for me because I'm terrible at choosing. I've never chosen well. And I realize that at the worst of time, God always gives me the best. Even when it doesn't go the way I want it to, it has always been a blessing. God has never given me something that was bad for me, even when it didn't work the way I wanted it to, at the time I wanted to. It has always blessed me. It has always been amazingly wonderful, anything God gives me, you know. And too often, and you know what it is, I really think it is, when we're busy assessing other people, it's really it's insecurity. It's our own insecurity. Sometimes it's our own. So what's wrong with me? Why hasn't it happened to me? And that thing is a real thing, you know. It's a real thing. When you feel like, so what happens to me? Like, when is my time? I remember when, you know, I used to terribly struggle with my bills and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, like, when is my time? Like, I'm always like, God, I'm a hard worker. When is my time? And you know, when it happens, you don't even realize. Honestly, when I got to the place where all my bills were being paid, it's like I wasn't even thinking about it anymore. I didn't even realize. It was a long time. I was like, oh my gosh, my prayer was answered. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize my prayer was answered. My prayer has been answered. One thing I've learned, there's fantasy and then there's love. There's infatuation and then there is love. And the one thing I've learned about love, it's not a choice. For me, it's not a choice I ever made. It has never been a choice. I remember my niece, Sadiki. Can't even talk about her. I know I shouldn't have gone there now because... Listen. That young girl, that child. And it's not just her, and I don't want my other nieces and nephews to hear me talk about her and think I love her more. I love you all different. And it's just that with Sadiki, I loved that kid since she was in the tummy, her mother's tummy. I feel like I even love her mother more because of her. I don't know how to explain that little pitney just have my heart tied up, wrapped up. And it's the same for all my nieces and nephews. It's like, I'm putty. It's like, that's not something I could have put inside of me. I'm telling you, when I saw my nieces and nephews the other day, like, all I could do was say, do not cry. Don't cry. And I remember my niece, Sadiki, was like, please, auntie, don't cry. Because I think if I had ever gone there, the entire day would have been about us sitting down being emotional. You know, when you could feel the impact you have on somebody, on a group of people, and they're looking at you and you have to like hold it together. That kind of in here, I can't give that to myself. And I realize that even when I love when it's a male that you love, and I finally have that experience, you have no control over it. So what he's saying is, I mean, he's giving you all the examples of why the person chose who he's with. And I think he's right. He's very right. But I also think that we don't really get to choose who we love. And I think a lot of men are not necessarily with women they love. I have been asking myself, what's a relationship and what's the purpose of a relationship? And I'm trying to learn it. You know, what do you choose for? For me, it's divine purpose I want. I want what God has for me, or I want to be with who God has for me. I want to do what God wants me to do. That's what I want. But different people have different reasons for what they do. And that's across my personal life, my business life, everything. I just want to do what God wants me to do. I want to be what God wants me to be. And it is my hope that in all of that, He will give me experiences that will make me live a full life, full of joy. And there's only one thing missing right now, and I don't know why it's so missing, but I hope to God He sends the solution. You know? But people are going to choose based on their own objectives, and you have to respect it. And we have to get beyond the thought that someone else is not worthy of something. I remember I've had experiences where the person I've dated, persons thought I was too fat for him. I was like 165 at the time. I wasn't this big. I wasn't as big as I am today. And there was this thought, because for me, I loved my natural hair, my natural stuff. I just loved being me. So I was not going to be that person who would live above my means. I was not going to be the person that puts on the wigs and stuff. And I remember one day, I mean, he said some things to me that, anyway, but persons thought he was so handsome. There are some persons, and there wasn't a lot of people either. They thought he was so handsome that why is he with me? And it wasn't about my looks for them. It was to the persons who expressed, you know, it was more like they think he'd be with a hot girl. Does that make sense? Like a girl who loves to dress up. And I've had persons like, oh my God, look how cute he is. Like, you should dress this way. You should do, and you know. And honestly, for me, I didn't see him that way, and I never trusted him. The things that matter to me are so different. That's not where my mind was. I wanted to build. I wanted to do stuff. I wanted to, you know. And I remember my closest friend at the time, she'd be like, Raquel, that's not the kind of guy you date. She called them royal, right? Because they're mixed, whatever. Because she knows, for me personally, I love dark-skinned men. That's just me personally. I love dark-skinned men. But I've never thought a black man would ever love me, have the capacity to truly love me the way I want to be loved. So growing up, I thought I was going to, my vision, my image that I always had in my head was a white man, but he doesn't look white, but he's a country man, curly hair, short curly red hair, and he's an amateur guitar player. And I'm gonna be sitting on the thing swinging, and I'm singing my amateur singing because I love to sing, and he's playing his amateur guitar. That is what I had in my mind, and I think it's because of all those books that I've read, the Daniel Steele's, the Harley Quinn, the historical romance books, right? I think that's what it is, because truly, in who I'm attracted to is a black man. I love the color of his skin, all of that. But as I've grown, and I've, you see, when you've been presented with what you want, and you realize that your soul does not want that, it's something different. Because what I realize now, to be honest with you, what I'm attracted to is a man who loves God. There's something very special about a man connecting you back to God. I can't explain it. A man who always wants you to know God's got you. A man who wants you to know that there's a God and that God loves you. And that I remember one morning, I woke up and I got a video. Don't get emotional. Oh my gosh. And this young man sent me a video explaining I wonder if I could find it. Like, almost like saying to me, do you know what happened for you to be here? You know, like, do you know that it's no accident that you're here? Like, there could be no accident, like the amount of things that has happened. I'm trying to see if I can find. I'm telling you, it was one of the most powerful things someone could have ever said to me. It was it's the most loving. That was love for me. And let me explain why it was love for me. I'm not saying that was his intention. I've always questioned my birth. Always. And because I never felt wanted by my mother. So I've always questioned my existence, and I've always said, I don't think I'm going to be somebody who lives very long and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, and it's funny because this is not someone I'm interacting with often. So he either pays really close attention to, he's someone who pays attention. There's some persons who they pay attention. And I don't mean attention to me, just somebody who pays attention. And, but he sent me this video that how many people were skipped over to get to you. Like, It's no accident that you're here. It's not showing up on this because this is not my actual WhatsApp. It's like this video was explaining that this many people were moved out of the way, that many things happened. Like you know, you could not possibly have been an accident. Like, you know, like you couldn't possibly, with all the generations that have come and everything that has happened, and the process of someone being, of life happening, you couldn't possibly be an accident, you know. And I'm just saying that to say you are worthy. Everyone is worthy. And to the extent that we can't see that someone else is worthy, it's because we don't see ours, is the limitations we have on ourselves. Remember the first clip where she said she no longer expects understanding because she understands the self actualization or the self knowledge that is required for someone to even get to a place where they can understand. And so when we criticize others, we really are exposing ourselves. That's what we really are doing. Because if we truly know God, and let me tell you something about happiness and joy. I'm at such peace that if anything I do keep you miserable, I can't be around you. I'm so happy that I want everyone to be happy. God blesses me so much that I just want to show up and show you that I want to support you, because God is a good God who blesses people. Like I just want to. I'm overflowing. I'm overflowing. I'm in a stage of my life now where I am overflowing. I stopped spilling a long time ago. Thank God I no longer spill. I'm overflowing with joy, love, blessings, abundance, all of it overflowing. There's an outpouring. When I tell you I have so much to give, I have so much love to give. I just have so much that I want to pour out. Like I'm just overflowing, you know? So when we question people's blessings, and we have to be careful. And I don't know if I said this at the beginning. I said it where I'm cautious when I talk about people's story. You have to be careful when you're questioning what God chooses to bless people with, you know. And on the other hand, you don't know what's happening in people's relationships, so be careful. Be careful what you desire for, what you think does not work. You don't know why it works. You don't know why it works or how it works. So let's bless people. When I tell you, please just running around in my head. I don't know why. It's like Sean Combs I have such compassion for that man, for what he went through. And again, I couldn't place that inside of me either. I have prayed for that man. I have compassion for him, and I feel for him. And in my soul, God has told me Sean Combs is a man of God and being used by God. No one has to believe or understand, but I know that. Anyway, he just keeps running around in my mind, and as soon as I'm done this, I will go figure out what's going on. Like, he's just running around in my mind. Let's go to the next clip. I think this is the final clip.
You haven't met all the people who are going to love you.
Ooh. Hallelujah. You haven't met. You know, I had a conversation with someone the other day, you know. There's a particular client that I have who, she used to do this a lot, you know, where she used to say to me, I love you. And she would constantly say it to me, and every time she said it, I'm like trying to look for some hole to slip through to exit. Because I just feel like, oh my God, this is business. I don't know what's happening here, what is this? And I don't want to say it back. And I'm telling you, she has remained so consistent. She reminded me the other day, she said, you didn't find me. I saw you and came to you. And it's so funny because I didn't remember. She's like, I came to you. I came to you. I saw you before you saw me. And I'm telling you, that message was so loaded because of the conversation we would go on to. It's such a beautiful thing sometimes just to experience love from somebody, and especially when it's somebody who you don't really know like that. Like, Or you think you don't know like that? Or you think they don't know you like that? Or you're thinking, how could you possibly? Like, you don't really know me. Like, you know? And then you realize that people know more than you think they do. No matter how much you think you're closed off, God is real, and God will, because that's what happened to me. You see, when you hear me talk about this person that I wrote book or whatever, I have not been had spent any adequate time in any space with this person to get to know them. What I know of them, God taught me. God introduced this person to me, and God told me who this person is. And all of it, everything that God has told me has been proven to be true. But what I'm trying to say is, people are going to come to love you because God prepared their soul to love you. God prepared them. It wasn't something you did. It's God who puts love inside of us. It's God who decides. Anyway, let's go.
In your life yet. And so when you meet all these people who are going to love you, they do not want to meet a vengeful person.
Forgive.
Okay? Because they're going to get the overflow of that vengefulness.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to what you said. Who was I? I think I was talking to somebody. Every time I have a conversation about relationships, I get overwhelmed. Because it's like, I literally feel like somebody's trying to say to me, who I am will not get the relationship. I need to become something else. I need to become somebody else. You know? You know who you are. Thank you for loving me. You've never looked at, I cannot ever recall you ever saying to me, I love you, but I know you love me. Because you ever have somebody in your life who you just always get it wrong with them. You just always get it wrong. It's like, no matter how you try, it's like every time you show up with them, you fall on your face. It's like in your worst moments. It's like you're at your worst. No matter how you try. It's like you always mess up. But you don't feel it. They don't treat you that way. They don't treat you like that's what it is. They just give you such loving kindness. I get what she's saying. And I'm going to say, try not to be vengeful, try not to be resentful, try not to be all those things. But in all your being, be yourself. I believe that, I have to believe that if love is what made God send his son, then love is what's going to help me clean myself up. Love is not going to find me in perfection. Maybe it can, I don't know, but if love can't be mine at my worst, is it love? Because do you know when you're vengeful or when you're being resentful? No, you're just feeling something, and that's the symptom. So I say, yes, be intentional about your energy, your aura, and who you're being, but more than that, be true to you. Because one of the things I don't want is to get into any relationship where, because I feel this happened to me before, where I'm in a relationship where I was just going along to get along. I'm dating you, but it's like your playground. I'm just here and don't know how to navigate. Because I'm afraid of being myself, because I feel myself is unlovable and you wouldn't want me for myself. And let me tell you what has happened since. God is God, God is going to be God. Now that I am myself, as I said, the same person who would say to me, I'm too fat. I remember one day we were arguing. He said, you're a fat bitch. And don't feel any way. We were arguing. Okay, it's okay. And, I never felt beautiful to him. I didn't feel like, anyway, it's weird because I thought my fat was the problem. Or there were conversations that made me think that. Now I'm bigger, but I'm more confident. I know who I am. And I'm telling you, it's like the person, we're not together. We've never done anything that's inappropriate. We don't even see each other, okay? And I make sure that that doesn't happen because this person is married. But we had conversations where lessons learned, right? And it's like the attraction for me is better now than it was then. You know what I mean? Or that it hasn't changed, it's there. But I hear that the language is different. The way he talks to me now is different. The admiration towards me is different. And now I'm surprised because I thought, no, he would just not want to talk to me because I'm not taking your BS. I'm not just going to sit here. I'm going to be who I am. I'm not going to be disrespectful. You know, I really have a thing that my dad taught me: never disrespect men. Don't ever disrespect men. Honestly, to me, I feel like to disrespect a man would be to make myself unsafe. So I'm always mindful of, to feel safe with men, I must respect them. That's a thing that I've always had in my head, right? But now the appreciation for me, the I love yous, all of that, and I don't know, maybe I don't know what it is. There is no chance of us being together, never will be. So there would be no need for manipulation or games or whatever. And I will be fair in saying this person actually opened up. He's opened up to me too. And, little things like, I didn't know how to be a man, I'm sorry for the things like we talk like that. And let me be clear again, we talked. We're not talking. Okay. So I respect his marriage. I'm just saying all of this to say, be your truest self. This is what I would say for me, because I don't like to tell people what to do. What am I saying? I tell myself, be your truest self. It is better for me to be single for the rest of my life, being myself, than to pretend to be somebody to be accepted and then now have to live this lie for the rest of my life. I don't want that. It is my prayer and my hope that God would align me with someone who has the capacity and the gumption and the strength and all that is required to love somebody like me. Somebody like you. So yes, I think there's wisdom in what she's saying, but I think we also have to be cautious that even in not being vengeful or resentful, it has to still be from a place of truth, not just a place of, I'm not resentful. No, you have to, if you feel resentful, then you have to acknowledge it, then treat it. Treat it. Heal from it. Don't bury it. That's all I'm trying to say. But I just wanted to end it on this note, of,
as a matter of fact, they're not going to get the overflow of that vengefulness. They're going to get nothing. Mm. They're going to go so far with you, and then it's going to stop. I've been with those people. Mm-hmm. They're called emotionally unavailable.
Wow. Well, that's the one thing I don't want to be. He's emotionally unavailable. And it is very difficult. I feel like... Yeah. Some men, well, I think you can actually love someone who's emotionally unavailable to you. Yeah. Anyways. This has been Allegedly for today. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm Coach Raquel. And this is where we bring Allegedly, the Allegedly segment to a close. Okay, so we've come to the end of today's show. Oh my goodness, it's the end of this episode. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching Refresh, Relax, Renew. And right before I go, there is something else I want to share with you. I'm going to put the clip up in a minute, but there are two churches I want to share with you. And I'd like to invite you to support them through a fundraising activity that we're currently carrying out. Now, you have to, I'm inviting you to get to know them, meet them, and if they align with you, or if you find it in your heart, or if your soul is encouraged to support them, then I hope you do. But it's your choice at the end of the day. But I definitely would like you to give me this moment just to introduce them to you. All right. So the first one that I want to introduce you to is Gospel Foundation International Healing Ministries. And I'd like to invite you to help us to reach our $500 monthly goal. Support GFIH Ministries' mission of prayer, healing, and hope. You can donate $10, $25, however much you want. It's pretty easy. You just go to their website. You go to the link that's there, gfihministries.org/give. You just click on that. You just go type that into your browser, and you can just donate based on your own capacity. There are no limits. You can give up to $1,000, $2,000, however much you feel led to give. It is my hope that you will donate it. So that's Gospel Foundation International Healing Ministries. And now the other one is Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries. And we have the same target. $500 is the monthly goal. So please support WAMO's community impact and faith-based outreach. You can give 10, 25, 100, 1,000, 2,000. And all you have to do is go to wamo.org/give. That's WAMOE.org/give. And I will have it in the description of this video. All right. So it is my hope that you will show up, you will go, you will donate and support. I think it's important to support faith-based companies, faith-based organizations. Let us support them, because when we face those challenges that money cannot solve, is faith we turn to. We turn to faith, and we go to these people and we say pray. And these are people who are always praying, even we don't ask, interceding for the world, for the challenges that we face in the world. So let us support them. This is my way of supporting them too. I'm not paid to do this. I'm just choosing to do this. So it is my hope that you'll join me and you will also show up and lend your support as well. All right. So we've come to the end of the show, and I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. It is my hope that you will like the show. You will subscribe. Please, if the information I share in this program, if you think this information could be helpful for somebody else, please share it. Share it with them. They may be encouraged, empowered. Sometimes that's your role in the whole thing, is to share it. So thank you for liking, subscribing, showing up. Thank you for being. And as you go, love yourself. Love yourself unreservedly. Yeah? Show up for you. Show up for you. You are important. You are worthy. You are worthy. You lack nothing, and you shall not want, because the Lord is your shepherd. God provides for his people. So you shall not want. I'm Coach Raquel, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great rest of day, rest of week, rest of year. You are so blessed. Go out into the world and just demonstrate it. Just show them how blessed you are. Thank you so much for all you do. Goodbye.
Unlock your potential every Thursday with our podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. Join Coach Raquel as she guides you through personal development journeys. Each episode focuses on actionable steps to enhance your personal journey. The podcast features 3 main segments to keep you engaged. We start with discussions on trending topics relevant to your growth. Then we unbox solutions to common challenges we face daily. Finally, stay updated with fresh funding opportunities each week. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and see you there.
Welcome to mycoachministry.com. We're on a mission to empower 1 million purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Turning calling into currency. Through strategic coaching, we guide visionary leaders, brand elevation, and creative empowerment, helping leaders break barriers and own their identity. Build impactful, wealth-generating brands that echo across generations.
I love to open new packages. I will give you the latest information on top funding opportunities for entrepreneurs who are seeking funding. Come along with me and Coach Raquel, and it is this passion project for me, so I'm so happy to bring this to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching.